Oh, I love that music. Great music, and it also means that Coach Carol has arrived on the scene for another installment. How are you, Coach Carol Phillips?
Very good. How are you today?
Doing very, very well. Very, very well. I think I'll lose a pound or two before the show is over.
There you go.
In this sauna.
It is a little warm in here today.
It is. It is quite a bit warm. And it's not that warm. I mean, it's nice, 72, 73, whatever it is, but hate to be in here on a 90-degree day.
Right.
Yeah.
It is gorgeous outside right now.
Well, we'll bring a fan henceforth.
That's right.
I thought we had one here, but it's not working anymore.
We're going to have to start a list.
No more complaining from me. It's a beautiful day, and it's great to have you with us. And so what's happening in your life?
What's new? Oh, just been super, super busy. But one thing I wanted to talk about today is I have some classes coming up soon at Good Life, which is a nonprofit in Concord, New Hampshire. And they're just a wonderful organization that offers different classes and events to people over 50 years old.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be doing, it's a 4-part series. I already did one of the classes. But the next class is going to be focused on nutrition. The title is Diet Has Nothing to Do with Being Hungry, because we want to get away from those fad diets and people thinking that they have to be hungry to be healthy and lose weight. Right. So that is going to be Thursday, June 9th. And they'd like people to sign up by tomorrow if possible. So you can give them a call. The registration is $15. And then if you want to purchase my book, it's an extra $15. But that's not a requirement for the class. And so we're going to be coming up with some easy, fun strategies for improving health. And as far as nutrition goes, just getting away from thinking of calories as being all bad, learning the difference between good carbs, bad carbs. Calories. That's right. Calories are good because they're our energy. Okay. So if we're not eating too many of them or eating the unhealthy calories, the food that has a lot of unhealthy calories are a great thing because it's our energy. So that is Thursday, June 9th from 1 to 2:30. That focus is going to be on nutrition. And then the next in the series is going to be on Thursday, August 11th. And we're going to focus on exercise. And the title of that one is Exercise is Not a 4-Letter Word, because it is not. And then the last in the series is going to be on Thursday, October 13th. And we're going to be talking about healthy choices that feed your soul. So if people want to call and register, the number is 228-6630, or you can send an email to register@goodlifenh.org, or stop by 254 North State Street, which is in the Smokestack Center in Concord. So some fun classes. Fun classes. Looking forward to those.
Absolutely. All right. I know you'll remind us again from time to time what's going on.
Yep.
But it'd be wonderful to take a class with Coach Carol.
Yeah, come sign up and visit. We're going to have a really good time.
There you go. All right. So that's one thing. Anything else going on?
Nope. That's it for announcements for today. But
yeah, go ahead.
There are also going to be refreshments.
Oh, well, that's always important.
So,
refreshments always important.
Food is always a great thing. So yummy desserts and beverages will be served, plus healthy snacks.
Outstanding. So that's even more of an enticement.
That's the scoop.
They get to meet you and get a great class and refreshments too.
It'll be fun.
All right.
We have to get away from that regimented behavior of thinking that health has to be difficult.
That's true. Well, you were the one that inspired me to give up soda. You did, and I was just drinking diet soda, but you told me that's probably worse.
That's worse. It's got all the chemicals.
Yeah. So I just gave it up.
That's terrific.
And I think, honestly, to be completely honest with you and everybody else, I think I've had 2 occasions since the first of the year when I've had soda. Just two.
Which is just amazing. That's terrific.
And I used to, whenever, I went out to eat for the most part, especially during the day, it would be like whatever I had and, a diet, whatever. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Diet Coke, Diet Pepsi. But I don't do that anymore. You just drink water.
That's awesome.
So not only am I not drinking soda, but I'm saving money too.
That's right.
Yeah.
And not only the immediate money, but down the road, it's going to be less doctor's visits, less health-related costs.
Correct. Yeah.
And you're going to feel much better.
Yeah. I mean, I don't. To be honest, I don't feel much different. But I wasn't feeling badly before. I'm feeling great. But I know ultimately,
exactly.
Ultimately,
over
it's
the years,
pay dividends
right,
in the long run.
Over the years, it would have slowly, because the other problem with soda, besides no nutrition, is it's very acidic.
Yeah.
And people tend to be too acidic, and that slowly erodes away your health over the years.
And speaking of acidic, some fruit can be very acidic too. Fruit. And I always thought, you could eat fruit. Fruit's great. And I love fruit. You know who doesn't eat much fruit? We find out now. Tom Brady.
Oh, really?
Probably the healthiest eater you would know. Mm-hmm. I mean, he doesn't, stray very far from a very regimented diet, and he eats very little fruit.
Wow. Well, the thing about the acidity with fruit is the pH in your body doesn't always go by when you're eating them. Like if it's acidic in your mouth when you're eating it, it goes by how it digests. Mm-hmm. So there are some things that people think are acidic, but they actually digest alkaline.
Okay.
So they're not really a problem with acidity.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But
it probably depends on the person, right? Or does it?
Yeah, I don't know how much research has been done on that.
Yeah.
I know if you Google pH balance and list of foods, there are some websites that give you a really nice list, and they chart everything from very acidic to very alkaline and everything in between. Mm-hmm. So you can get a really good overview of what you should be leaning toward, because we want to be slightly alkaline, and most people are very acidic.
Okay.
So,
that alkaline, that's everywhere. I thought it was just in batteries, But.
No, it's just like, you have a swimming pool and you have to watch the pH balance so that the water stays clear. The same with the human body. It runs off of a pH level system. So, yeah, interesting.
Wow.
So anyways.
You never know what you might find out on this program. I know it's a learning experience for me every day.
Lots of miscellaneous information.
There you go. Between you and J-Dog, you educate me all the time.
Well, I'm glad you're still not drinking the soda. That's amazing.
I'm not.
It's a good thing. So anyways, I would love to bring our guest on today.
Feel free to do so. She's waiting patiently here.
So today we have Bianka Beaudoin, who is from the American Cancer Society. She's the community manager for the Relay for Life event. And I've known Bianka for a few years now. We see each other at a lot of networking events. And actually, we get to the point now where we swear that each of us is cloned because we see each other so much.
You're everywhere, both of you.
And we run into each other in some of the strangest places. So anyways, welcome, Bianka.
Thank you very much. Appreciate being on the show.
Can you tell us a little bit about how you ended up at the American Cancer Society and a little bit about your background?
Sure. So about 8 years ago, I started as a volunteer for the Relay for Life of Greater Manchester. I received an email from someone that said, hey, would you like to count money at an event? And because I just wanted to do some volunteer work. And I'm like, yeah, I know how to count money. And so I went and helped out during that event, and they're like, well, would you like to help plan a Relay for Life event? I said, sure, I have no idea what you're talking about, but I'd love to help. And I went to a committee meeting, and there were a bunch of folders, and these are the open committee positions. Which one would you like? Okay, well, food and drink, because to me, when you go to a party or go to an event, you always need good food and drink. So first year I volunteered, and I made sure to recruit several vendors that came in to donate food and drink to the event. And flash forward, now I work there.
Mm-hmm. That's how to get a job.
Well, my grant position from my previous employer was going away, and I was offered a job at the American Cancer Society, and I've been the community manager for 3 years this year. Actually, right before Memorial Day, so last week, 3 years. But I've been at ACS for 5 years in August.
Mm-hmm. Terrific.
Outstanding.
So tell us a little bit about the American Cancer Society and their mission before we get into the Relay for Life.
Sure. So the American Cancer Society has been around for over 100 years. So what's pretty amazing about that is we are one of the largest nonprofits that fights cancer. And we're out there every day, various things. You know, we help people stay well, we help people get well, and our goal is to find a cure, or several cures, because unfortunately there's more than one type of cancer out there. And through the years, there are different events that our volunteers have taken on, and one of them is Relay for Life. But we also have several programs and services that support cancer patients and their families, including our Road to Recovery, a wig bank for cancer patients, Look Good, Feel Better, that helps women put on, have makeup that works for their skin type while they're going through treatments. So different programs that really just try to meet our patients' needs, or the people of our community's needs.
Mm-hmm. And that must be really comforting. So people, if somebody just unexpectedly was diagnosed with cancer, if they called you and said, I just got diagnosed with cancer and I have no idea what I need, what do you have that could help me?
So what I would suggest, if anybody that you know has been affected by cancer or just recently diagnosed and you have a lot of questions, the best thing to do is call 1-800-227-2345. We have a call center that is open 24/7, available to help answer questions on the type of cancer that you've been diagnosed with, as well as if you just want someone to talk to. So one of the scariest things for people that I've met, they can't sleep at night. Cancer patients can't sleep at night. And, their family will say, call me, but they don't.
Mm-hmm.
And because they don't want to bother their family and friends. But we have this call center available to people. And our representatives are trained on New England lingo. So, they know how to pronounce Manchester. But even more importantly, like Worcester, they know how to pronounce Worcester. It's not Worcester.
Mm-hmm.
Things like that, they learn our lingo and they're trained accordingly. And they have resources at their fingertips to help direct patients and loved ones through their journey.
Mm-hmm. And that's so important because it's those little things, like you're trying to connect with somebody in a desperate time and they're not pronouncing, the local towns or whatever, being familiar with certain things. And it just creates more of a disconnect with that person.
It's so true. I mean, if someone calls me and says, Bianka Beaudoin, and I'm like, Bianka Beaudoin? And, it's maybe not important, it's not Smith, so it's not as easy, but it's important. It's my name.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
I think, making sure that people understand where people are from and some of their lingo and things that are important to New England that may not be as important to other people in other communities.
Mm-hmm. That's terrific. Okay, so you've been really busy with Relay for Life, to say the least.
Very busy.
So give us the whole scoop on that.
So Relay for Life of Greater Manchester is June 11th to the 12th at Livingston Park. It's in Gastus Field. So what we do is at about, 8 o'clock in the morning, a group of volunteers come down to the park and we get everything set up, banners and registration and tents and get all the soup to nuts all set for the event. For opening ceremonies to start at 2 o'clock. And then at 2 o'clock, we open the event with some inspirational speakers, including a local survivor. And then we also have two local MNCs, Sean McDonald from WMUR and Margaret Bissett from WZID, are co-MC in the event. And they've told me that I can embarrass them this year. So after opening ceremonies, we'll be doing something where one of them is going to get pied in the face. Not sure which one. We'll see who wins.
There's their warning.
They know. They said it was okay. So that will be around 3. And we have various laps every hour, various themes. And so there's some somber moments. There's some really happy moments, a prom lap, an 80s lap. People get dressed up. They're silly. We have fundraisers at the event. Everything from bananas to cotton candy. It depends on the team. Even one of our teams has a Nerf shooting gallery, and the kids love it, and they get little prizes, and it's a great family-friendly event. And then as dusk comes in, we line the track with luminary bags, which kind of remind me of when we grew up before we had those insulated totes. Instead of a brown paper bag, it's a white paper bag that people have sold in honor and memory of someone that's been affected by cancer. And we line the track with those and glow sticks and or candles, depending on the weather. And we shut off all the lights, and we take a lap with a bagpiper, a local bagpiper, Michael Rennie, and we walk in silence for about 45 minutes. And then we slowly turn the lights back on, slowly turn the music back on, and then get back into our regular programming for the overnight event. And the event goes until 8 a.m. on Sunday. So the way we look at it, cancer doesn't sleep. So for one night, neither do we.
Mm-hmm. That's
And
terrific.
Relay for Life started over 30 years ago with one man's vision to raise money for the fight against cancer, and he ran on a track for 24 hours. And that's how Relay for Life began in Tacoma, Washington, with one man, Dr. Gordy Klatt.
Wow, that's very interesting. And I like the way that you focus on being respectful of the difficulty and having the sad moments, but also the happy moments, because that's reflects life. I mean, life has its ups and downs, and people going through that, they need to also have their happy moments, even though they're going through unimaginable stress.
From the date of diagnosis, that person's surviving, and we want to recognize that. So we celebrate our survivors. We remember the ones that we've lost, and then we fight back because we can.
Mm-hmm. That's terrific.
The Relay for Life is made up of teams, correct?
Teams and individuals,
And
but primarily
individuals,
teams.
Yeah. And so how do people formulate a team?
Great question. They can go to relayforlife.org/ManchesterNH. And for anybody that's listening outside of Manchester, just go to relayforlife.org, type in your zip code, and you can find an event near you.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of that, I want to offer our listeners today, the first person who has not signed up for Relay for Life and would like to do it and is seriously going to go and sign up after the show, give us a call at 1-866-823-1077. And the first person to call and say, yep, I'm going to participate this year, will get a free copy of my book, 52 Simple Ways to Health. So call in 1-866-823-1077 and stop for a moment and say hi to us.
Operators are standing by right now, even as we speak. So, okay, 1-866-823-1077. If you have not signed up for Relay for Life as yet and want to, for next weekend at Livingston Park in Manchester on the 11th and 12th, this is the time to do it and get a free 52 Simple Ways to Health book. How about that?
Yes. And when you call, you're not going to be signing up through us. You'll have to go and do that after online.
Okay.
But
Or
get
they
on
can call our 800 number if they'd like to sign up as well.
Yeah,
okay.
what's the 800 number?
1-800-227-2345. So if any of our listeners do not have internet access, you can call that 800 number and register as well, and they can take care of that for you.
Great. Good to know. But give us a call, say hi, and get your free copy of the book for signing up.
Oh, absolutely. 800-227-2345, is that right?
That is correct.
Okay, so that's a good number to have. And it's a tremendous event. And now, when you commit to volunteering for Relay for Life, are you committed for the entire time? You have to be there from 2 p.m. to 8 a.m.?
We don't require anybody to be there for the entire time.
Okay.
We love it when they do.
Yeah.
Because there's so much more excitement at the event when
Sure.
the opening ceremonies are just as powerful as the closing ceremonies. However, we know that people have lives, and we know sometimes things happen, and we respect that. The event is actually open to the public up until midnight, so people can come down to the event and take a walk with their family and check out some of the fundraisers and have fun and participate in some of the various labs. But we want you as a team. We'd love to have you overnight, and the registration definitely has its privileges.
So what is the idea? So for those of us like me who have never participated, does a member of your team have to be on the track at all times? Is that the idea?
Ideally, that is the idea.
Yeah.
We want to try to have one person on the track at all times because it's a family event, and that's the thought process behind it. However, I'm not on the track following people to make sure that Team XYZ is on the track.
Right,
We're gonna get an extra donation from them because they're not on the track. Although that might be a great fundraiser.
There you go.
Yes, really.
Formulating
Yes.
the ideas while she's here.
Yes, yeah, I can see the wheels spinning right now. Or turning anyway. Maybe not spinning, but turning.
Potentially both.
There must be a lot of excitement.
It's such a fantastic event. If you haven't experienced it, just come down and check it out and see what all the hype is about. You know, it's an important cause. Everybody that I know has been affected by cancer in some way. And what better way can you celebrate loved ones that you've lost and remember everybody and just come down and have a good time. It's, like I said, there's somber moments, but there's a lot of happy moments. And you end up gaining an extra family, and it's your relay family. And some of the people that I've met through relay through the past several years are my extended family now. And they worry about me just as much as my blood relatives. And they care about me, and they care about my family and my friends that have been affected by cancer and things that are going on in my life.
Mm-hmm. So like another support group.
It's another support group. Yes, definitely. And, you know, we have options. So at the event, you know, you get some junk food, but it's all about options. And you know, you would see me, you were talking about soda. You'll see me drinking soda that night.
Expect it. It's
we won't
happening.
hold it against you.
That's right. Everything in moderation.
As most of my coworkers know, there'll be some Mountain Dew
To get through the night.
to get through the night.
Just a little bit of caffeine in that Mountain Dew, right?
But in the but yeah, just a little bit. By the morning, though, when everybody else is drinking coffee, I'm like, no. Once I'm done and out of here and I get my car unloaded, I want to go home and go to bed.
Right. That's terrific. So I know you wanted to talk a little bit about where the money goes. So talk about the fundraising aspect of it, and then also American Cancer Society overall.
Sure. You know, I think a lot of people do wonder, well, so if I raise some money for the American Cancer Society, you know, how do I know that it's going towards what's important to me? And you know, we do have people that get paid. I get paid for my job. I have 7 events, but I get paid and I work very hard. And the people, my coworkers, they all work very hard. So we have people that get paid for every dollar that is raised, about 77 cents. And we're working on getting to 80 cents. Goes towards program services and research. So we do have some overhead, you know, like any business would. And we want to make sure that we're a good steward of our donor dollars. I'm very strategic on where I go and my mileage and being smart with that dollar. And some of our programs and services. So in New Hampshire, we have a fantastic partnership with Dartmouth Hitchcock. And we have researchers up there that we are currently funding. And then we have researchers throughout the U.S. because we want to fund the best and the brightest. And that can't happen if we don't raise the money. And the money that we raise through Relay for Life, which is the #1 fundraiser for the American Cancer Society, if we don't raise that money, those grants can't be funded. And that could be the person who finds the cure for something that someone's been affected by.
Right. So you're looking at the big picture, right?
Looking at the big picture.
Mm-hmm.
The other piece, we have programs and services. So We have wellness programs that we work with employees as well. And then we also have a program called Road to Recovery. So let's say someone really doesn't want to make a cash donation right now to us. We can understand that. We know that there are certain circumstances in our lives that take precedence. But maybe you have a car and you have a couple hours a month that you can donate. We need drivers. These drivers take our cancer patients to their treatments so that their lives can be saved. So if you're interested in saving a life, you can become a Road to Recovery driver, and you can call 1-800-227-2345 and say you want to become a Road to Recovery driver in your area. We need them in Manchester. We need them in Concord. Southern New Hampshire is in desperate need of Road to Recovery drivers for local treatment, as well as people that are willing to go to Lebanon and Boston.
That is so important because there are people who they'd like to donate more money, but they don't have it, but they like volunteering. And that's something that they could definitely do. And you immediately see the benefit that you're providing.
You see the benefit, and then from my experience is the individuals that are volunteer for our Road to Recovery program, the relationships they build with these patients or these individuals that are going through treatment, they become lifelong friends.
I can easily picture that.
Another program that we have is a Hope Lodge, Hope Lodges. Our closest ones are in Boston and Vermont. And so let's say someone lives it's about 60 miles from where their treatment is in Boston. They could be eligible to stay at the Hope Lodge for free, which is tremendous for individuals going through cancer treatments. If they need to go through their treatments in Boston and they have to drive down to Boston, and I love going to Boston, but to drive down there every day to go through chemo treatment, or to even find family and friends to drive you down there every day. So the Hope Lodge is available to cancer patients and a loved one. And sometimes they'll get volunteers from the Patriots will come in and cook them a meal. I've been down to the Boston Hope Lodge. They have a little herb garden. It's beautiful. It's really close to Dana-Farber. That's another one of our great programs and services. And we also have Look Good, Feel Better, and our Wig Bank. So those are, some programs that the money that is raised through Relay for Life and through the American Cancer Society goes to help and support our patients.
That's great.
Outstanding. Great information. We'll have more coming up as well about the Relay for Life and the American Cancer Society in general. It's the Ask Coach Carol portion of our program for this Thursday afternoon from the Beacon Building in downtown Manchester. It's Ask Coach Carol. You can ask Coach Carol anything you want.
Anything under the sun.
Everything is fair game. 1-866-823-1077 is the number. And if you would like to volunteer for the Relay for Life event in Manchester coming up next weekend, the 11th and 12th at Livingston Park, you can do it right now. Give us a call, 1-866-823-1077. And this is like on the honor system. If you get one of Carol's free books, 52 Simple Ways to Health, for the first caller that says, I am going to be part of Relay for Life in Manchester next weekend, you have to sign up with the American Cancer Society. But we'll take people's word for it.
That's right.
That's the kind
honest
of people
engine.
We are. It's kind of the people we are here.
That's right.
At the Pulse.
Trying to get more people to
get involved
and enjoy this event. And even if you just visit for a short amount of time this year, maybe next year you'll just be dying to do the whole overnight.
It's true. Like we were saying off the air, cancer fears the walker, and come down and walk at the event because together we are stronger than cancer.
Mm-hmm. And we are such social beings, and people need to support each other. So just the fact that they're going to come down and feel like they have people who've been through the same thing that they've been through can really, really improve your mental health.
It's such a great way for people to come together and support each other in something that they all believe in. Carol, before the break, I realized that we didn't talk about one of the great aspects of our Relay for Life event, and that's our survivor reception. So after our opening ceremonies, our survivors take that first lap, and they walk the track together, unified, and we cheer them on. And as they come through, then they'll take a lap with their caregiver. But if they need to take a walk that first lap with their caregiver, that's okay as well. But typically, after that, they'll go under our survivor tent. And if they're pre-registered, it makes it a little simpler, but they can register the day of the event, and they get a free gift. They get a free meal, and all donated from local restaurants here in Manchester, the greater Manchester area.
Mm-hmm. And, that's really important, too, the caregivers, because you can suddenly be thrown into a caregiver role that is so unexpected and so demanding, and they need support also. So if they go and do this event, they're going to meet other caregivers.
They sure will, and they'll see some of the ways that we recognize our caregivers. We've been taking nominations for caregiver superheroes, so there'll be a caregiver superhero that will be given their cape this year, and we recognize everybody has a different journey, but the thing is we all hate cancer pretty equally.
Mm-hmm. Can you give us the details again, including the website and the phone number?
Sure, yeah. Saturday, June 11th to the 12th at Livingston Park, starting at 2 p.m. and going until 8 a.m. The event's open until midnight to the public, and then also starting again at 6 a.m. on Sunday. People can go to 1-800-227-2345 to register and find out more, or they can go to www.relayforlife.org/ManchesterNH.
And they can register for free, right?
There is no registration fee. If someone would like to raise money, if they raise $100, they do earn a Relay for Life t-shirt. If they don't, try to raise what you can. It all helps towards the fight against cancer.
Mm-hmm. Every bit helps.
Yep.
Great.
Now, you said you organize not only this event, but others throughout the course of the year. What are some of the other fundraisers that you're involved with?
My other Relay for Life events, I staff the event in Claremont. I staff the event in Salem.
Huh?
I staff the event at Bedford High School, Plymouth State University, and we have a Bark for Life event that we are confirming to reschedule for this fall. And that will hopefully keep our fingers crossed if John O'Neill from the Watershed's listening. We'll be at Lake Massabesic. So, and that's our pet-friendly walk, because we realize that our dogs can help our caregivers as well as our survivors through their journey as well. And we recognize the caregiving qualities of our canine friends and get to raise a little money for the fight against cancer.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, just the presence of dogs can bring people's blood pressures down. And I would think that, these people are dealing with a lot of stress. And if they're already dealing with blood pressure issues and then they have that stress on top of it, that's a real challenge. So anything that can help them.
Right. Yeah. And if people are interested in organizing a fundraiser, we welcome that as well. Sometimes somebody has a great idea of something that they're passionate about. Well, let's make your passion work for us and work for the fight against cancer. I will plug one of my coworkers' events that will be here in Manchester as well. If we have some thrill seekers, in August, there is an Over the Edge event. So you have the ability to have a rappelled jump off of the Brady Sullivan Plaza. And there is a minimum for fundraising for that because there is a pretty hefty cost, and it's $1,000. But another great event that people can be involved in for the fight against cancer.
Wow.
And they can jump over the edge.
That's interesting.
They can walk at the Relay for Life. They can take their pet to the Bark for Life. And then another great fundraising event is our Making Strides Against Breast Cancer, which will be in October at Arms Park.
Great events.
So many ways that you can get involved and hopefully raise some money for the American Cancer Society. And as you said, 77 cents stays in New Hampshire?
About 77 cents goes towards our programs and services.
Okay.
A lot of it stays right here in New Hampshire, actually New England.
Okay.
We luck out because we have a lot of smart people here in New England. A lot of great researchers at Dartmouth as well as in Boston.
Sure. Yeah.
The rides that we provide, I don't have the dollar figures in regards to exact that comes back, But I remember seeing an article, and it was a couple years ago, for every $1 we sent to our home office in Atlanta, $2 came back to New England, because there's so many researchers here in New England that we fund. So that's a pretty good number. And
Yeah.
we get, we send in more money than, we send in less money than and then we get a lot more back.
That's great. And the immediate community that needs the resources, they're not going far for their care. So if they're going down to Boston and you have researchers close by, it keeps that communication even better.
Sure does. And we have local, people, go right to North Cotton Cancer Center. That's another one of our great community partners and one of our sponsors for the Relay for Life event. So, the money goes local and supports local people. And then also nationally, because we want to fund, like I said, the best and the brightest. Mm-hmm. And I don't care if we find a cure for a certain type of cancer from someone in San Jose, California, I want to fund him.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of cures, we also need to touch on prevention, because
that's true.
Prevention is so important. And how many different healthy behaviors where one of the benefits is reduces your risk of cancer. So people exercising, people eating healthy, people reducing their stress. Every little positive change contributes to avoiding cancer altogether.
One of the things that we did actually here in New Hampshire in the past several years, if you go to a restaurant here in New Hampshire, you can now enjoy your meal without having someone smoke next to you.
That's a wonderful thing.
And that is because of the American Cancer
Yeah.
Society. The American Cancer Society Cancer Action Network is our advocacy leg of the house, separate but equal. But they lobby about things that are important to people here in New Hampshire, as well as things that are important on a national level. Something in the past year that we've gotten approved on the local level is that we've made it illegal for individuals under the age of 18 to tan at a tanning salon, because their skin's not fully developed. And we had the research to prove it. And in the Live Free or Die state, we were able to get that approved because our youth's lives matter. And youth are dying because they were diagnosed with skin cancer at a very young age because they started using tannin beds at a very young age.
Mm-hmm. Just have a few more minutes left to talk a little bit about the American Cancer Society, the Relay for Life in Manchester at Livingston Park, Saturday, June 11th through Sunday, June 12th, 2 p.m. to 8 a.m. And you can still get involved in that. And Carol, take it away.
Okay, so I just wanted to remind the listeners that if you want to come to my nutrition class next week, it's at Good Life Programs and Events up in Concord. It's Thursday, June 9th from 1 to 2:30 p.m. If you're over the age of 50, come on down. You can call and register at 228-6630. It's at 254 North State Street.
Outstanding. And Bianca, we talked about some of the volunteer opportunities at the American Cancer Society. The Road to Recovery Drivers is one aspect of it. People need rides to their appointments. It's a tremendous program, and I know there's probably always a need for those drivers.
Always definitely a need for Road to Recovery drivers. Mm-hmm. And, 1 hour, 2 hours, whatever someone can give, if they have some flex time in their schedule, if you're retired, if you're volunteering and have the ability to just volunteer some hours every month, that's all we need. So we have the Road to Recovery program. People can volunteer for our special events, including the Relay for Life, Making Strides Against Breast Cancer. And we have other opportunities available. They can go to cancer.org, as well as call 1-800-227-2345 to find out what opportunity is the best one for our listeners.
Well, Bianca, I want to thank you so much for being here. That's just wonderful information. And the volunteer aspect is so important, because if you can't give dollars and you can give time, sometimes that's even more invaluable to that person that needs a ride to treatment. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
A terrific hour and just some great information. And again, the number to call if you want more information, 800-227-2345, or if you want to register free of charge for the Relay for Life coming up next weekend in Manchester, the 11th and 12th, 2 p.m. on the 11th through 8 a.m. on the 12th, relayforlife.org/Manchester, or if you're looking for one closer to you perhaps, you can just put in your zip code and it will take you to the appropriate page on the website. Again, Bianca, thank you so much for the information. We appreciate it.